Welcome back to BTN Live. I'm Gerry DiNardo. Our next guest was a first-year starter in 2013 after not taking any snaps at all in 2012. He led his team to an 8-5 season, including a fast start, winning 4 of the last 5 regular season games. We welcome in Jake Rudock, Iowa's returning starting quarterback. Jake, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me, Coach.
Jake, what's the part of your game that grew the most during the 2013 season?
I'd have to say decision making. That's one of those things that you can't work on necessarily as well as possible when you're not getting hit in practice. That's one of the biggest things that Coach Davis always talks about is you never know how the guy gets the ball out. You never know, if he can get it out, get sacked, whatever happens until you actually start getting hit. So then that decision making kind of starts to improve longer the season goes on.
As I mentioned, you went from no experience at all in 2012 to obviously the starting quarterback. How much will the offense grow now that Coach Davis can lean on you because of your experience?
I think it could help the whole offense tremendously. Just having that year under my belt allows me to kind of recall things from the previous year, certain checks at the line that we have to make. You kind of get a better sense of what they'll be during game speed because fact is, every team has a little bit of wrinkle each Saturday, and that's what they do. Defenses try to mix it up on you, just like offenses do the same. So sometimes you've never seen that look before, but you have to just try to figure out what the best play would be, and sometimes that's check it. Sometimes you unfortunately have to call a timeout and burn that, but it's better than having a negative play.
Jake, you face a defense every day at practice that's replacing all 3 linebackers. What have you seen from that defense this spring?
They've been aggressive. I think that'd be the easiest thing to say about them. They've been aggressive. They've all, watched those 3 guys and learned how well that they play. I think having them as mentors to the guys who are going to have to step up is, it's a big help to us because, it's hard to replace anybody on team, and we had 3 really good linebackers last year, but the guys who, have the potential to play there have been stepping up and been real aggressive, been working really hard to, fill that void and lead the defense.
How will this team be different than last year's?
Offensively, obviously we want to be better. Just like the defense, they want to be better. And to say how we're going to be different, it's just different people. Every single year you have different guys on the team, and it kind of makes it a little different in that regard, different types of leadership. And that kind of will unravel itself more as the season goes on. But for now, we're just all trying to do the best that we can and move forward.
Earlier in the show, we heard from Connor Cook, Michigan State's quarterback, about his feelings about this concept of student athletes having a union, being employees of their respective universities. What are your feelings on this issue?
More that I've learned about it, I like the idea of how you get a little bit more medical attention to the student athletes, kind of allow them to finish schooling after the fact. In regards to the employee thing, I don't really have an opinion on that. That's kind of a little bit over my head with that, but I kind of like the ideas that they have in place, but at the same time, it's kind of has to go back and forth between coaches and players and the institutions onto, what is best for the student athlete. And I think if that's what this idea has in store for it, then that'd be overall better for student athletes.
You have a spring game tomorrow. What's the most important thing the team has to get out of tomorrow's practice?
We just have to try to make it the best practice of spring. We're limited to 15 practices, and each one's not going to be the best practice, and that's one of those unfortunate things, but that is football. It's not going to be perfect all the time, and the goal is to slowly improve each and every day, get a little bit better, and the biggest thing is just, make tomorrow the best day that we possibly can and end off on a high note so that we can go into the off season understanding what needs to be done and how we have to play football.
Well, good luck at tomorrow's spring game, which you can watch on BTN to go and see highlights on the Football Report tomorrow night. Thanks for being with us, Jake.
Thanks for having me.